Hello and welcome back. In this lesson, we are going to look at permanent session lifetime in Flask. And what we are going to do is create a page where user can put their username and then it'll redirect the page to a home page that says you're logged in, and the user can also log out. But the main key is that the session for which the web page will be valid is going to be set by the permanent session lifetime. Okay, so let's get started. We will go ahead and import modules from Flask. Import Flask with uppercase F, and then we import session because we are going to use the session module. Then we use redirect to redirect the uh, uh, browser to the home page after the user clicks on the login. URL for is what will carry the information of the home page, the route, and then request is what we'll use to again get information of the username from the form. And from date time, import time delta, and time delta is what we'll use to set the 1 minute time for that session. So as usual, we'll first initialize the app by typing flask underscore underscore name underscore underscore, and then we are going to use the secret key. So app dot c app dot secret secret key is equal to, and our secret key is pretty straight simple, 123. Then we are going to set the session lifetime by typing app dot permanent underscore session underscore lifetime is equal to time delta, and here we'll say that, well, it's going to be about 1 minute, so we'll say minutes is equal to 1. And then we are going to create three functions. For one is for home page, other was for login, the third one is for logout. So first we'll create the one for login, and so this is going to be route, and this is for the log home page URL log, that is home or base URL or root URL. And the second one will have that is for the /login, and then we'll have another one, app.route, that is going to be for /logout, and that's when the user could manually uh, end the session. And of course in the end we'll have the if name is equal to main underscore underscore colon, and then app dot run debug is equal to true. All right, so that's sort of the structure. Now we'll try to put in the information here. So the home function below this base URL or root URL, what this will do is, uh, if when the person visits the base URL or root URL, all they are going to be able to see is that they are not logged in. So here is sort of, I already have this up and running. I'm going to cancel that and run this. I'll show you how exactly. So this is what the user will see when they visit the root URL, and as you can see there's nothing there. It just says you are not logged in. And uh, the way that happens is uh, as follows. We try to get the information from the session, so session.get and username. Okay, so up until now the session dictionary, so which would be stored inside of this cookie, does not have the username key, and thus no information about username, and therefore this username is going to be, this is going to be nothing there. And therefore if username, if that does not exist, then it's going to go to else, and this is what gets return you. I'm going to type the same thing. You are not logged in. Go to / login to start a session. So that is exactly what we see in the browser, right? So if the user had logged in, then this would display the message. But I'll just wait on that, and we'll go on to. So let's say the user now goes to the login page, and here is what happens: def login, and as soon as the user goes to the login page, the user the browser uses the get method to show the form to the user. And so if request dot method is equal to post, so there is, so here we are in the very first case, when the user opens the browser, they are going to simply see the form, and so what gets returned is in fact this, which is uh, which is just going to be a form, HTML form method, and the form would have the method built in it, which is called post. Okay. And inside of this form, you just simply say enter username, and this will create the text box which the user can type, by where we have the input type is equal to text, and then we have the name is equal to username. And once that is there, we can end the form by / form angle brackets, and then three of these quotations. So as soon as if we now go to the login page, as we do here, you see that this is what is displayed, and this is made available to the user in the browser by the get method. And so here we need to type the methods. Now methods is equal to get, so that's one, and then the second method this would handle is post. So two methods, right? So this is the get method that is doing the job right now. Now here is what I'm going to do. I'm going to and still we can see that that's the cookie. The cookie is there, and here I'm going to now type the name, that's the username, and click login. As soon as I click login, uh, it generates a post request, and that because it's a post request, it tells Flask that here some package has come in which has information in it, and what we can then do is get that information. So as soon as we post, uh, a session can be set to permanent. Permanent is equal to true, and that's when the I think that's when the clock would start on this 1 minute that we have. And then while that is the case, we can then extract the username information from the form that has come on the backend side by the post request, uh, by using request.form, and here we will extract it like this by using the request. So request.form username will get the username, in this case Nilesh. It will put that in the dictionary session under the key username, and wrap that up and put that in the cookie, and seal it with the secret key 123 that we have created. Right? Uh, a lot of things happening, and then once that happens, once the session has the username in it, we can then return the user back to the home page. And to do that, here is how we will do that. We use the redirect, and what the redirect does is whatever URL is inside of it, it'll direct the web page automatically to that URL. And what URL we are going to put there is going to be we'll use the URL underscore for, and inside of that we'll just type home, and that will send the user back back to the home page where we have this function home. And once we get there, this function home would run, and now the session will try to get the username from the session. And dot get is from what I read, dot get is safer, so we could also have said username. This would also get us the username, but we are using dot get to get the username, put it in the username variable, then again run into this if else block. This time username has a valid username, and so that block would run, and thus it will return an f string saying hello username, and then we say your session is active. All right, so this is when the clock has started on this 1 minute that we have set for the session. And if we now wait for 1 minute and then come back, so let me go ahead and click on login. So let's say the session has now started. Okay, session has started, and here is the cookie, and we see everything is just fine. And if I look at the time, here it says 10:43, let's say about 44. And while I explain, it will be 1 minute, so 45 hopefully. So I'll just wait out on this, and by that time we'll type the code here for the logout. And for this we'll create a function logout, and this is simply going to terminate the session by saying session.pop, and inside of this we have the username. So end the session for this username, and then the return the text or string that says you have been logged out. So that's all there is in this particular function. So now let's try and refresh this if 1 minute has passed. So looks like we are out of it. So let's refresh this again. So let's try again. We are still here. We are 40. So this was what 53:14. We are at 54:48. So I suppose we should have logged out by now. All right. So I figured out what the reason was, and the reason is even if we refresh the page, sometimes the browser automatically resets the expiry session, and therefore uh, if we refresh it doesn't necessarily stop at 1 minute. So to make it stop after 1 minute, what we can do is set app.config, and here we set session underscore refresh underscore each underscore request, and we set this is equal to false. So we are essentially telling Flask that don't refresh the session expiration every time the user makes a request. And so hopefully if we run the code now, it should time out after 1 minute. And so we will go ahead and say python app.py. This is running. We go here, and as usual it say not logged in. Then we go to the login page, and here we type the login name, press enter, and as soon as we press enter we are redirected to the home page where it says you are now active, your session is active, and this is 11:11 when the session uh, when we logged in. And now we are going to wait for 1 minute, and this is 11:25. So by 12:25 we when we refresh this we should automatically see that this is saying you are not logged in. the cookie would still say, I think the cookie would still we would still see the cookie, but the login status would be gone. I'm going to refresh this now, and this is in real time, so you can see we are at 12:14. Refresh this again, 12:22. Refresh this, and see, as soon as we are past 11, after 11:25 we are 12:26 and it says you are not logged in. So that's how the permanent session lifetime works. So point to note is that it is possible that the browser may um, automatically reset it. So to avoid that, we need to specify session refresh each request as false in config. And now what we can do is go back to the login, and I'm going to type login, and again type the name. We are logged in, and this time we are going to trigger this session.pop by going to log out directly. So as soon as we go there, say you have been logged out, and now if we go back to the home, we say that you are not logged in, right? So we logged in at 13:08, we logged out at 13:19, and now it's still within the minute 13:26. We see you are logged out, and the reason is because we did manually log out from the session. So this is how the permanent session lifetime can be controlled in your Flask app. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please do let me know in the comment section below. I hope to see you all in the next lesson. Thank you.